For about 7 years, I've been collecting the Playmates Dick Tracy toys, and well, I've got most of the figures except for the blank. Now, I am in Canada and it was released here, but it's still very difficult to find and very expensive. So if I'm ever lucky sometimes to find it, that would be great, but I'm not going to hold my breath. About 2 years ago, I also unboxed a Dick Tracy Police Squad car that I bought brand new on my travels. It was complete and unopened. So today, this brings us to the big boy's Getaway car. Now, there's some things wrong with this. I got this for about $15 as you see it. It had the figure inside. The door was off, but I don't think the hinges are broken. Nothing's really broken on it. If you push it down, it gives you that sound, and it's supposed to simulate the engine running and the Tommy gun shooting out probably the windows. That's pretty cool. You'll notice that the headlights are missing. I do have one of the headlights. It just friction fits on those little posts there. I took it off so that I could see if I could find a way to make this. That's what we're going to do today, is we're going to restore this vehicle, make this headlight, and take a good look at it and see what else needs to be done. Now, there's a couple foot pegs here that are still present, so that's excellent. The paint is actually pretty good. Now, there is also a spare tire in the back. This actually opens up, which I didn't realize when I first got it. And inside, you can see there's some tools and some dynamite and a knife. Also, if we look at the top of it, somebody put a sticker on it. I don't know if that was like a price tag at one time or some kid put a sticker on it. So we have to remove that sticker, and we can look at, there's some damage here. I don't know if that's more sticker. The chrome is actually really good. We also have this sticker. There's a gun in there on the floor, a Tommy gun, and some pedals. We've got a brake pedal, and we've also got the dials in there, and we also have the steering wheel. The fact that I paid $15 for it with a figure, and if you notice here, the figure does have a gun. Now, is this the gun that comes with this? I'm not really sure. I actually didn't even realize he had a gun because I never took him out yet. So that's amazing. I have no idea. I'll have to check to see who that gun belongs to, or if it belongs to this car. So let's get started on this. We're going to get this cleaned up. I'll show you how I'm going to get all the sticker off and the marks off of it. We're going to make the front headlight and get it working again and put it on display. It says on the box that figures are sold separately. Even though this is Big Boy's Getaway car, he doesn't actually come with it. It also says it came with a Tommy gun. Now, I don't see any pictures of a Tommy gun, but I do see pictures that are in the back of the spare tire compartment, and I see a gun that looks just like this. So stepping back from the video and doing a little bit of research, I've noticed that there are some bullet holes right here which are really cool, but this also came with a sticker sheet, and some of those stickers you can see on the inside. I've already shown that, but also it came with battle damage stickers. It was stickers that looked like bullet holes that you could put on the vehicle to make it look like it was shot at. I don't have those, and I'm actually okay with that. Now, it is important to me to find out if this car actually came with a Tommy gun, and from my research I've found out that it did come with a Tommy gun. Playmates made two different kinds of Tommy guns with these figures and this vehicle, and I want to break this down with some research that I've done and evidence of which Tommy gun should come with this Getaway car. So first of all, let's talk about the figure that this car came with my purchase. This was Brow. Now, this is the one that I have in my collection. I've got 3 of these guys, but this is the one that I have. He is complete. He did not come with a Tommy gun. He's got a handgun here, and he came with a holster for around his leg and this knife. This is the revolver that comes with the Dick Tracy guns, and if we look at this one here, you can clearly see that they are much different. Doing my research, I found out that this gun actually comes with a Police Academy figure, Eugene Tackleberry, and that's amazing because I didn't have his gun, and you'll notice that there's a little tab here that you can fit on here, and that just gets him that much closer to being complete. So that's actually a plus. Now, looking at the figure that was on the box of this vehicle, we have here Big Boy, and he didn't come with a Tommy gun either, even though it shows that on the front of the box. He actually came with a revolver, a chest holster, and some money bags. There was 5 figures that did come with Tommy guns. First, we have Itchy here. He has a holster. He has a belt here with some grenades on it, and he came with this Tommy gun here. Now, you'll notice that this is a single barrel Tommy gun. He also came with this pipe. Now, a lot of these figures came with a lot of the same accessories. They looked the same, they were molded the same, and they mixed and matched them throughout the line. And here's an example of that. Here we have Rat. He comes with the exact same Tommy gun with a single barrel, the pipe, and he also has a chest belt here with bullets on it. Next, we have Shoulders here that comes with the exact same Tommy gun as the other 2. He comes with the bullets on his chest. He also came with, looks like a wooden bat of some sort with spikes on the end, and it's in a brown color. I don't have that, unfortunately, but at least you can see that he does have that Tommy gun. And here we have Flat Top, which came with that double barrel Tommy gun, and it's got some kind of trigger on the top. It's completely different than the other one, although you may not notice if you're not looking closely. Now, there's one more figure. It is Prune Face that we need to look at. He also came with a Tommy gun, but you can see here it is the one with the double barrel and the trigger on the top. He did come with a few other things as well as Flat Top did. I just don't have those items, but we do have the Tommy gun. So, looking at pictures online, on eBay, looking at complete Big Boy Getaway cars, you can see here that this guy here has one for sale with the double barrel Tommy gun. And that wasn't enough evidence for me because that guy could have just had a Tommy gun and put it with it. We can look here on the instructions. You can see that it shows a Tommy gun being put in the spare tire cover. And that's enough evidence for me to confirm that this is the Tommy gun that came with that vehicle. And even though the picture on the artwork shows that the other Tommy gun, the single barrel Tommy gun, was being used by Big Boy, this is the one that came with it. Now it shows them putting it into the spare tire, and I'm not really sure if that is possible. That is not possible to do that. So there's a little discrepancy in the instructions and in the artwork on this, but I'm pretty positive that this is the Tommy gun that comes with this vehicle. So a great resource for finding some of this stuff out was this book here. This is the Action Figure Collector book. This has a lot of really excellent IPs in here, and if you go to D, you'll find the Dick Tracy information here, and it shows pictures of the figures and the names of the figures here. Now, it has nothing about the vehicles. Mostly this book doesn't have a lot of vehicle information. If you go to the next page, you can see Desert Patrol by Remco, and it does have some really odd IPs in here, a lot of G.I. Joe, Transformers, but it's mostly figures. You will see some vehicles in here, but not a lot of vehicles, mostly just the figures. And some of these figure pictures doesn't even show what they came with, no accessories. And then if you go to Star Wars, you see a lot of vehicles and stuff. So although it's a cool guide, it's not really complete. So I also used Figure Realm. So let's get into fixing this vehicle. So first I want to make this headlight. I think this is going to be the hardest thing to do with this repair and this restoration. And I'm going to do this first because I'm going to use Milliput, and it's going to take a while for that to dry. And I've thought about how to make this in a few different ways. I did find a knitting needle, which is really large, and it's almost the same diameter as this. Is actually the same diameter, but I found this Sharpie marker that was the same diameter as that, and it kind of has more of the shape that I'm looking for. If we look at the diameter of this headlight, I think this is going to be perfect. Now, it's not the right shape, so I'm going to cut this off, and I'm going to fill it with Milliput, and then hopefully shape the end of it to be more of the egg shape that the headlight is. Of course, we have to make the clear part of the headlight, which is going to be another challenge to find a piece of plastic that looks like that, but I should be able to find that somewhere. Now while that's drying, let's address the vehicle itself. First of all, we have to see if this door fits back on. And it looks to me like there's a couple tabs here that fit on the hinges here. So that shouldn't be a big deal. And there's the door, fits in there. But what I did notice is there's a hole here, and I referred to the pictures, and I guess there is a side mirror here too. And well, I'm going to have to make that also. So that shouldn't be a big deal. I looked at pictures and should be something easy to make with styrene. So anyway, let's get rid of these marks and sticker residue and get this thing cleaned up while that headlight is drying. Just like always, we're going to be using this Zippo lighter fluid. So it seems to me like this part of the vehicle here and this part, these two pieces here are the same piece. They're together. And then this is the top part. And you can see how this is sitting down lower. This fender is sitting down lower than the back of the frame. And so the bottom of the car is nice and flush. Now here it's not sitting down low enough, so the bottom can't sit in the right spot. So maybe I will have to take this all apart to see why that's not sitting flush. I'm going to do that. Let's take these screws out here and see what happens. There is actually some more screws inside, but I think that's to hold the windows in. So let's try that and see if it's a disaster pulling this apart, and see why that frame is not sitting flush. Okay, good. So this piece is all screwed in there, so we don't have to worry about that falling apart. It's kind of dirty in there. Maybe it's a good thing I took this apart. I can clean it. Some dust bunnies and stuff in there. But there's definitely something that was holding that up. I'm going to spend a few minutes and clean this out, and then I'll be right back. There, that's a lot better. And what I realized is this back seat was actually screwed in. That's what these screws were for. It wasn't really those screws were not really holding on to the chassis and the body. So let's get this screwed back on, since we don't really need to take that off. So let's see if I can get this to go back together and hopefully snap into place properly. So off camera, I was just trying to figure out how to get this to sit flush, and I managed to do it. And what I think has happened is somebody took this apart before. You can see some screwdriver marks here, and I think they switched this screw with this screw, and this screw was a little bit thicker than the one I think that was supposed to be here. I think the one here was switched out. And it seemed like this was stripped, but it actually wasn't. So I flipped the screws, and this screwed right in nice and tight, pushed this piece in. It looked like it was actually warped, but pushed it right in nice and tight, and now it's sitting flat. So that is perfect. It's probably going to work better too. And another thing that I've noticed as I've been doing this is we've got these posts here. We've got 2 in the back, and we have 2 in the front. And clipped onto those was a front and back bumper that was chrome, just like the rest of the chrome on here. And unfortunately, I thought this was pretty complete, but after doing my research, those are missing too. I may have taken this apart for no reason, but I still had an opportunity to clean it, which it really needed. And because of the mechanism inside, I didn't want to put this in water to try to get all the dust and everything out of the inside. So it was needed anyway, so I'm happy that that turned out okay. And I didn't have to actually repair the post from it being broken or anything like that. So that was a plus. Here's my headlight that I made, and I'm going to spend some time shaping this a little bit more by hand, and I'm going to just pull this out. This is my piece that allowed me to hold that over the sander there. There we go. I'm just going to sand the bottom of it because it's not quite level on the bottom, and then I'm going to take this out and give it a primer coat, and then we'll coat it with some black and make the chrome piece and the lens. Here is my headlight here. I put a black and clear coat on it and sanded it after I put the primer on, and it's looking pretty good. But now we have to make the lens, and I've got some chrome to put on it too. Shuffling around at my dollar store looking for some plastic, and I found this, which is kind of an odd thing to use, but the top part is around the same diameter as the original lens. And I think if I pull this off, and I'm going to cut this off here and glue it onto here, and that should be a pretty good looking lens. So I'm going to go to the bandsaw and just cut this off really quick. I'll be right back. So here's the lens and the light, and if we put the lens on there, that's going to look really good, I think. Before I put the lens on, I have to cut out the hole that you put right here on this post. And I've got this drill bit actually that's going to drill right into here and here. But before I do that, I don't want my drill bit to wander. I'm going to use my pin vise and get a pilot hole started first. There, that looks good. It looks like it's level with the other one. So making the side mirror here, I thought about this for a while, and I thought maybe I can use some styrene here. And I needed something to peg into this hole to hold the side mirror. And I thought, well, maybe some Lego pieces like this. And I tried that out, and it fits in there really tight, actually perfect. It's kind of uncanny how Lego fits with a lot of things. And as I was looking for this piece, I came across this piece. This is a magnifying glass. I'll put the number up here up top. This is a Lego item, and this came from a figure that we got in a Christmas advent calendar years and years and years ago, and this was just loose in a bucket of my kids' Legos, and I thought this would be perfect. I think it's going to look really good. Now, this fits in here like this, and I could leave it like that and chrome the black part, and I think it would look really cool, but I still want to make the part that kind of goes in this direction, and then it's a little bit more forward like this. So far this is what I have, and if we fit it into the car here, you'll see that it fits in there really nice, and you can see how it still opens up. Now there is still some more sanding to do and filing to make all the edges round here, especially on this 90-degree. I also have to chrome this. Now I like the fact that it has the magnifying glass, and unfortunately I forgot that when I glued that on, you're going to see the black behind it. So that's unfortunate. If I was to do this again, which I'm not going to do because I don't have two magnifying glasses that I know of anyway, but if I was to do this again, I would probably take a piece of black styrene first and chrome the back of it, and then adhere it to the back here just on the edges so that the chrome doesn't run, and then at least it would be chromed behind the lens. I think that would be a good idea. I could probably take that lens off and chrome it and then re-glue it on, but I think that it'll just be a mess. So I'm going to stick with this, and I think it'll look awesome once it's filed and chromed. I've got some new chrome coming. That's why I've been kind of waiting on this, is because my other chrome is just not good enough and it's old, and I thought I could get it to work if I shook it enough times, but it's just not making a chrome shiny surface. So I'm going to wait. I've got some coming today. Finally got my new Molotov chrome pens. let's use these and we'll chrome not only our mirror that we made here, but here's my headlight. Like I said, I gave it another gloss of black paint after I drilled that hole out that fits on the front, and I'm going to put on the chrome trim along with the lens. Alright, there it is. Those chrome pens really suck. I had to pull the tip out of the chrome pen and put a big blob in here and then move it around with my toothpick. So we'll let that dry for, well, probably like a week or two, and we'll come back and finish this up. So here is my completed headlight, and here is the lens. I haven't attached it yet, so I'm just going to apply some glue to that, and we'll put it all together with the parts I made. So just like the original headlight, the light fits on right here, and as you can see, that fits really nice and tight. And there we go. It's not exact, but it's a pretty good representation, making a whole bunch of parts out of junk. And the thing that I'm really proud of too is the side mirror here. Take a quick close look at that. Made out of Lego pieces, and that should fit right here on the side, right in that hole, nice and tight, and it does. It looks great. Take a look at that. Looks really cool. And there we go. So here's the Getaway car that I fixed with Al Big Boy Caprice. After all, this is Big Boy's Getaway car, and I think it looks amazing. Now, like I said from the beginning, it is missing the bumpers. If we look at Dick Tracy's police car here, you can see those bumpers right here. And, well, it would be nice to make those. I did look on eBay to see if I could buy them along with the parts that I made today, and you do not see those parts at all. So I'm thinking that maybe I will make a video on making those bumpers, and if you want to see that, let me know. I think it looks really good without the bumpers. I think it looks fine. I think it's passable. But if you guys would like to see me make the bumpers, considering you can't really find the bumpers very often on eBay or any sites that I've looked for, let me know, and I'd be happy to make the bumpers. So thanks for watching this episode of Toysbackzen. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of these repairs. Have a great day, and see you later.